Good morning. I
Hello.
am here with Shani this morning for this week's member spotlight. Shani is a member of the Wow Web exclusive, and she's going to be telling us all about the stuff that she gets up to, and all about her business. And she's also going to give some top tips as well, because she's quite a clever lady, actually. She knows a lot of stuff. And Shani also uses one of my favouriteest words in the whole wide world as well. So when we first met and she used this word, I was like, oh my god, I need this woman in my life. So Shani, what is your tell everybody what your business is.
Okay, so my business is called Crucial VA, and I am a discombobulation specialist. So,
and for those who might not know, what exactly is discombobulation?
so discombobulation, to sum it up, is basically confusion, kind of disarray, being out of sorts, overwhelmed, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so I think it's just a great word, and I don't think it's used nearly enough. Like, it's just such a great, you just feel a bit crap. I'm feeling rather discombobulated.
Yeah,
I just love it. It's just the best
it's a fun
ever.
word. It's just a fun word to say. It literally just rolls off the tongue.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. So how did you, like, what made you choose to kind of use that word then, and kind of, get down and dirty with discombobulation?
Yeah, down and dirty. So I mean, I kind of started the business, as the name of the business suggests, Crucial VA. So started it to provide your kind of typical virtual assistant services. And shortly after kind of starting the business and kind of getting into things, my role kind of evolved into more than just your kind of typical handling your admin tasks and whatnot. What I kind of do for my clients is act as a sounding board to kind of help them figure out what's working, what's not working, what can be improved, what can be scrapped altogether. So it kind of turned into, like, consultation services as well. So instead of just saying, virtual assistant, I was like, okay, I'd do a bit more than that. I kind of help my clients gain clarity and efficiency and just get rid of the overwhelm that often comes with running a business. So when I was trying to kind of summarize it, I was like, I'm helping people become less discombobulated. So yeah, I'm a discombobulation specialist, and that's kind of how it came about. And plus, it's one of my favorite words. So, I'm a discombobulation
I love random words, though. I absolutely love them. Like, there's so many random words that just are so fun to say that people just don't use. So yeah, I'm a big fan. I'm not a big fan of being discombobulated, but I'm a big fan of the word.
Yes. At least you can say, even if you can say I'm not discombobulated, or I'm less discombobulated than I once was, then that's a perfect way to use it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess people come to you really when they're, well, obviously when they're feeling discombobulated, but when they are sort of feeling that just massive overwhelm of, like, I've got so many things to do and I don't know where to start, and I can't see the wood for the trees, and I just need some help. So when people come to you, do you have like a system? What sort of things do you look at and help people with, like, first of all, to help them just sort of even things out and feel a bit freer?
Yeah. So what I normally do is I come in, obviously, after we've kind of had that initial call to agree to work together. I kind of come in and see what's going on now, all the processes that are in place or lack thereof. Find out what the end goal is, what they're trying to achieve, and pinpoint what might be stopping them from getting there, basically. So it's just about, looking things dead on, looking at all the flaws, etc., and saying, okay, this isn't working, that's not working, we could do this better. We could introduce this to help you get to that end goal. And yeah, just basically start from there, just work on an action plan to progress things, basically. So that's what I come in and do, just kind of assess everything and figure out what's working.
So you're kind of almost like you say, almost like a business sort of coach, consultant, VA. You're not just sorting people's diaries and emails, are you? There's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, definitely. That's kind of been that's how my brain works, basically. Yeah. All of my roles to date prior to starting my business have kind of been, the general gist of it has been having an issue and finding a solution for it, and kind of going beyond the typical scope of things as well. So putting suggestions forward, just to make things work better. So now my phone rings. It hasn't rang all day, and now it rings. So it's just finding, just helping people get from A to Z as seamlessly as possible. I've always kind of been very analytical, sometimes annoyingly so, because I really do think of things that you wouldn't necessarily think of, but the end goal being, we want this to be as perfect or as close to perfect as possible. And that's kind of how settling into this role kind of came about, kind of thing, because it's just something I love to do.
And you know, presumably you get to almost see behind the scenes of quite a few different businesses, so you kind of can pull out, you know, what works and what doesn't work from different types of people, from different industries and different business you know, kind of structures. So you've got a lot of experience from a lot of different places that you can bring to everybody that you work with, haven't you?
Yeah, definitely. Before my background from an educational standpoint is in music and entertainment industry management. So wow. Yeah, it's quite a long title. So I've always been, you know, of the creative kind of mind in general, musically and just all of that kind of stuff. But then outside of that, working corporate worlds, you know, in travel, working for bankers and insurance brokers, in the medical sectors, all different kind of areas. And whilst they're all very different, the main thing has always been the same. They've got some kind of issue or conundrum that they need assistance with figuring out, kind of thing. So the industry doesn't really matter. It's just, as long as you're at that point where, you know, you're looking to, you might be growing the business and you're working solo. And whilst it's great that you're trying to take your business to the next level, if you've only got one pair of hands, it can get very overwhelming. And that's where I kind of come in to kind of help them figure out how we get you from A to B, basically.
And so from my point of view, like, I'm like, okay, I'm running my business, I'm doing everything myself, I'm in control of everything. How do you help people kind of let a bit of that go, basically? Because you're handing a part of your business over, essentially, for someone else to kind of take off your hands. Yeah. That can be quite scary, because, you know, like, do a lot of people feel like that when they come to you?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of clients that I end up working with, it's been in the works for a long time, but it's just taking that final step, or, you know, having that final push to say, okay, I'm relinquishing it now, or I'm ready to let go of it now. And I think the reason why that happens is because, you know, it's, your business is your baby. For most people, their business is their baby, and it's like all these questions kind of pop up, like, are they going to understand my business? Are they going to take care of it to the same standards that I would? Are they going to know how to do things the way I want it to be done? And the idea that might not happen is enough to make people kind of just bear the brunt of it longer, which of course is not good, because then you're still struggling to make things work. So what I normally recommend for people is start with something small. If you know you need that help but you just don't know where to start with something small that if something were to go wrong, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It can be easily rectifiable, because then, you know, it's just testing the waters. And then once you've tested those waters and you realize, okay, that wasn't too bad, you can start to build up in terms of the amount of work you hand over, the level of importance it holds for you in the business. And you can kind of just work on a gradient so that you get to that point where you can literally kind of sit back a little bit and say, okay, I can breathe now, you know?
Yeah. And I guess as well, a lot of people may come to you because they just want to hand off the stuff they don't like doing.
Yeah. Yeah. And we all have those things in business. So we all kind of, you know, when we start our business, we have a particular goal in mind, but with running a business, there's all the other little bits that have to be taken care of in order for the business to work. And they're not necessarily things you like doing. They're not necessarily things that you are good at. And normally when you're not good at something, you don't like it for obvious reasons. So those things kind of get in the way and just kind of blur the lines and blur the vision that you're trying to achieve, kind of thing. So yeah, my role is to basically take those away so that you can focus on the things that you're good at, the things that you enjoy. There are always going to be certain areas that, you know, you have expertise in that the person that you're taking on board doesn't necessarily understand, and that's for you to take care of. But for the other stuff, you can outsource and remove that from your plate.
And I love the fact that you really do care about your clients and their businesses and what's best for them, and you're not just there to perform a task.
Yeah.
You put so much more into it as well, because you want your clients to be successful and you want to help them in their business. And that's not something that I've come across before when I've chatted to VAs. They just do a task. That's it. So I think that the kind of extra level of service is kind of over and above what, you know, perhaps people may have experienced with a VA. And I just think that's so important as well, because like you said, a sounding board, you know, we typically work on our own and are stuck in our own heads all the time, and just being able to talk to somebody else about something is sometimes all you need to make a decision or a choice or move forward or whatever it is that's kind of going on around you. You know, and another set of eyes can look at things from a different angle and see what you often can't they?
Yeah, and sometimes, you know, we've all been there. Sometimes the answer's staring you right in the face, but in the midst of everything, it's just hard to see. And sometimes, as you say, just talking about it, you know, I don't even need to do anything sometimes. Sometimes it's just talking about it. You just go, oh my gosh, there it is. Why didn't I see that before? No? It happens to all of us in life, in business and everything.
Absolutely. Now, I have noticed, Shani, while we've been talking, you've got quite a nice, bright, sunshiny light coming through from your window, and I'm looking out at my window, and the only light is from an actual lamp, and it's grey and it's cloudy and rainy. So, are you?
Well, it's funny you should ask, because I'm in Barbados. I'm in beautiful, sunny Barbados.
Jealous at all. Not at all. And like, so how hot is it there?
Funnily enough, not long ago it was looking really gloomy, but that's, you know, it's tropical weather. 1 minute it's raining and the next minute the sun's out blazing. It's 29 degrees.
Oh,
so
that's nice.
Not bad for a May.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think if I lived there, I'd just want to lay out in the sun drinking pina colada.
Oh, it's tempting. It is
like
tempting.
And not do any work. Like, how do you cope with that?
Well, I mean, I think knowing that I have the beach at my disposal helps, because I know it's not going anywhere. And it's, you know, it's like when tourists come to, you know, London or wherever you are to see all of the main tourist attractions that you probably haven't seen before. Like when I was living in London, you know, you've got Madame Tussauds and everything, the London Eye and all those kind of things I've never been on, but there's people that are not from my city that have been to all of these great London attractions that everyone knows about around the world. So I think living in Barbados, it's like, I mean, I did go to the beach yesterday, but that was the first time, probably this year actually, that I've been. No, probably in the last 3 months. I haven't been for about 3 months. But I could walk to the beach in like 5 minutes. But I think because it is just there, I'm like, oh, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
But whereas I suppose it really in England, if the sun is shining, we have to take that and run with it.
I know.
Because it doesn't happen very often at all. Like we're on the last day of May and I think it's just rained solidly for what feels like weeks. It's probably not quite that long, but I think that the last week I don't think we've had a day without rain, not just a little bit of rain, proper hammering down, you know. And it's like it's supposed to be summer, man. Like there's been some washing outside on an area which has just got, which is just not, it's just wet. It's just not drying. It's just getting rained on day after day after day.
I tell you, I do miss, there are many things that I miss about England. The weather is them.
Okay, so what's the thing that you miss the most about England? Like, is there a food that you miss the most from England?
A good old fish and chips.
Really?
Proper fish and chips, yeah.
Do you not have fish and chips in Barbados?
We do, but it's not the same. It's not the same. It's don't get me wrong, it is very enjoyable. But you know, when you're accustomed to the fat chips.
Yeah.
It's just
is there what about drinks? Because I know some, like the UK is like, oh, tea and coffee, but other countries don't have the same sorts of tea and coffee. Is there like a drink thing that you miss from the UK that you can't get?
There is, but it's an alcoholic one.
Is it?
It's gin, a good old gin and tonic.
You don't have gin in Barbados?
We do. We can get it very easily, but it's expensive. So it's not a drink that I would drink on a regular basis. In fact, because it's on the expensive side, I probably couldn't tell you the last time I had a gin and tonic. But
really,
no, yeah. But it's like, you know, like over here, rum is a Caribbean drink, so you can get that very easily. It's very accessible, very affordable. So that's almost like a daily drink for me. Shame to say.
Oh my God. So when I come to visit you in Barbados, I'm going to have to bring a suitcase full of gin then.
Oh, yes. And I welcome you with open arms.
I went to, where did I go? I went shopping to Aldi yesterday. This will make you really jealous. And they have all really unusual gins in like places like Aldi and Lidl sometimes. So £8.99, £8.99, Eton Mess flavour gin. Eton Mess.
Oh my God.
I know, right?
Eton Mess flavoured gin. What? So what would you drink that with?
Well, I don't like tonic, so I have lemonade. I have spent my entire life thinking that I don't like gin. It's actually tonic that I don't like.
Right.
I absolutely fucking love gin. So I have it with lemonade, and it's wonderful. And I've got B&M. See, I bet you don't have a B&M in Barbados, do you? See, I couldn't cope with that. I love B&M. B&M. I got again £8.99 unicorn gin, and it's sparkly, so you shake it and it all swirls around with glitter, and it's completely iridescent, the whole drink. So when you put it in your glass with some lemonade, it's just sort of swirling around and it looks all magical, and it tastes like sweeties. It is. And I've got another one from the same place which is called Wonderberries, I think, and that again is a sparkly one, but it's also color changing.
What?
Right, so when I come visit, I'm going to have to bring all of these with me.
Yes, 2 of each, please. 1 to drink and 1 to just put on the mantelpiece, because that sounds like something I don't even want to drink. But if you bring me 2, I'll be all right. I'll drink 1 and keep the other one.
Okay, so I'm going to have to get extra luggage allowance when I come to Barbados then for all of the gin.
I'll pay for the extra luggage allowance, don't you worry.
We would have a fabulous time drinking all that gin together.
I'm telling you.
Anyway, before we carry on down another path completely, have you got like some top tips, things that business owners who are feeling discombobulated that they might not have thought of that could help them a little bit?
Oh, it really depends on what area they're discombobulated in. But to generalize, I would probably say, so let's say that they've got just lots of tasks that they need to handle, and doing them all, you know, it's just a constant thing, and they feel like they're not getting a break or anything like that. I would say prioritize them. Get a list and just prioritize and put them in order of what's most important and work that way down. Also, there's a technique which I use called, well, it's actually, I think it's got 2 names. You can call it time boxing and you can call it the Pomodoro.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Right. So what I do is any tasks that I have, and I do this for my individual tasks, my client tasks, etc. Put them, instead of having like a to-do list, put it in your calendar.
Okay.
So put tasks in your calendar and schedule the relevant amount of time. So if something takes an hour, put an hour aside. If something takes 15 minutes, put 15 minutes aside. And then that basically means that as long as you're consulting your calendar regularly, you can clearly see all your tasks, and you know that at whatever time you're going to get them done. Just doing that alone is automatically going to relieve that stress, that feeling of that anxiety feeling of, I've got too much to do, I don't know when I'm going to get it all done. Just put it all in your calendar so you can see it's been taken care of. I'm going to deal with that at that time on this day, that at that time, etc., etc. And by the end of your week, all of your stuff that would have been on your to-do list has been handled, and you're going to feel a little bit less stressed about it.
Great idea. Yeah, that's amazing, because I think that probably is the biggest thing, isn't it? There's always so much to do when you're running a business, and that
time.
Not enough hours in a day is just like sheer overwhelm. Are there many pieces of like tech, different platforms, different things that you use within your business that people may not know about, that can help them kind of with that sort of organizing and prioritizing of tasks and things?
Yeah, there's one, and I told you about it, and I think you loved it as much as I did. I don't know if you're using it though yet, so you'll have to let me know. But there's an application called Wavebox.
I've signed up for it, but I haven't done anything with it.
You need to use it.
Tell me about it. Tell me, because I haven't looked at it properly yet.
Right. So I'm going to try and explain it as best as possible. So Wavebox is an application that you put on your laptop, computer, whatever. If you imagine the way that you would use a browser, you've got a tab here for this and a tab here for that, and you end up, I don't know if you're like me, I used to end up with millions of tabs open all at once.
Yes.
Right. So Wavebox is an application where you can keep all your tabs within the application. And as well as your browser tabs, you can also have tabs for the different applications that you use. So if you've got your Google account, if you use, I don't know, LastPass for your passwords, Canva, all of the tasks that you use on a day-to-day basis, you can actually have like a separate tab down the side of the application, and all of the tabs will be at the top. So it allows you to kind of organize what you're doing. If you have multiple accounts, depending on the business that you run, you might have multiple accounts within the same application that you use. So instead of having to log out of one and log into another one, you can actually have them all there. They're all separate because they're kind of grouped. They're grouped. So this is, you can name them as well. So say, for example, you can have a tab for work, a tab for personal, a tab for, you know, another business you might run, a tab for your children, you know, that kind of stuff. So it's all kind of sectioned off, and you can just flip between each group, and within those groups you have your different tabs kind of thing. For me, doing what I do and having the clients that I have, it's been an absolute game changer. It saves a lot of time, my time, and it obviously it means I can save time that I use for my clients, so they're getting more out of me as well, because I'm able to be more efficient. But if you're running your own business, you can be more efficient as well, kind of thing. So I absolutely love it, swear by it, shout from the hilltops about it. Definitely check it out.
Okay, yeah, because I do have many tabs, and then on different screens, and then I can't remember where they are, and then if I close one by mistake and I can't remember what I was on, and I can't get back to it, and yeah, that's really frustrating sometimes. Or someone will send you a link and you click on it and that, oh, you leave it open, oh, I'll just look at that later, and then you go back and, you know, your computer's decided that it's going to turn itself off, and then when you turn it back on again, everything's gone.
Yeah, exactly.
So it stops all of that. Yeah,
it does. And then also it has a focus mode as well, so it helps you to kind of just, you know, when you need that time to just do work and not have any distractions, because you can put like your Facebook tabs, Instagram, etc. on it as well. So instead of getting your pop-up notifications from your socials whilst you're trying to work, you can put the whole application in focus mode, 30 minutes, an hour, the day, etc., so that you don't get any distractions whilst you're working, and then just turn it off if you've got it on constant.
Yeah, see, that's a great idea, because I'd get distracted very easily. I will sit down at my desk to do something, and then I say, oh, there's an email. I'll just say, oh, there's something on there. What was I doing again? Oh yeah, this. I'll go and start doing that. Oh, there's another thing coming up. Oh, I'll just look at that. And I think I just spend most of my time doing that. Just and then I forget what I was doing, and then I have to remember, and I get back into it again, and there's some sort of amount of time, isn't there, that it takes your brain to get into focus mode again. If you switch from one thing to another, it's a really inefficient way to work, because your brain kind of takes a while to catch up.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, oh my god, brilliant. I'm definitely, you've made me kind of think I must do that. I did have a tab open for it, but it's disappeared. Ironically. So I'll have to try and find it again.
I'll send you the link, don't worry, I'll send it over to you.
If people have listened to what you do and think, I'm definitely feeling discombobulated, like how can people, what's the best way for people to kind of get in touch with you and have a chat and find out a little bit more about what you can do to help them?
Sure. So on my website, which is www.crucial-va.co.uk, when you go onto that website, on the top right hand corner, you'll see a box that says book a free discovery call. Click that, fill in your details, pick a time, and we can have a 30-minute chat. It's free, it's 30 minutes, it's all about them. And that's the quickest way to get things moving, really.
Okay, amazing, awesome. So Shani will put all the links and things below this email as well, so you can easily grab some time and have a chat with her. We've worked together on quite a lot of stuff over this course of this year. I think it was right from the beginning of the year, wasn't it? And yes, 5 gold stars, highly recommend. Yes.
Thank you.
For all of the things that you've said, and yeah, I would have you in my life on a permanent basis if I could. Like forever, just to talk to, like, you know, even just for that. Because yeah, it was awesome. So yes, if you're feeling discombobulated and you're overwhelmed in your business, then have a chat with Shani, because she does really know her stuff. And you know, there is there is another level. It's, you know, she's not just your normal common old VA. She's a VA that's really going to help you in your business, and she lives in Barbados. So, you know, if you get on well with her, you might even, you know, get a free trip to Barbados.
It's not about a free trip, but you'd be welcome.
Yeah, a visit.
Well, that's some one-to-one face-to-face meetings. That's definitely welcome.
Do you ever come back to the UK very often?
I haven't actually been back since the pandemic, actually, but I do plan on coming back this year. I don't know for certain when. I wanted to come back in August, but I don't think that's going to happen now. So definitely this year at some point. It's just the date needs to be confirmed. But yeah, okay.
Watch this space.
Yeah.
Right. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed getting to know Shani a little bit better, and yeah, book some time and have a chat with her, because she's very, very good at what she does. Yeah, thank you very much for your time today, Shani. It's good to have a chat with you as always, and make sure you keep your eyes out for next week's member spotlight, Friday at 10 o'clock, and we've also got speed networking on Monday at midday, and BS Wednesdays on Wednesdays, funnily enough, also at midday. And have a look at our events. I'll put the link in the comments of this video, and come and see us and find out why everybody loves a bit of the WOW Web.
Yes,
see you later, guys. Bye.